Not your router, not your internet plan. Yet your Wi-Fi feels slow. Pages stall, videos buffer, calls freeze, and everyone blames the same thing, the router. But replacing hardware rarely fixes this problem because most home Wi-Fi issues aren't caused by weak internet. They're caused by invisible decisions happening inside your home, every second. Decisions your Wi-Fi is losing. Here's the uncomfortable truth. Your internet speed can be fast, your router can be modern, and your Wi-Fi can still crawl. Because Wi-Fi speed is not about power, it's about control. And most homes have already lost it. Let's start with what people get wrong. They think Wi-Fi slows down because too many devices are connected. That's not the real issue. The issue is how those devices talk. Wi-Fi is not a pipe. It's a conversation. And right now, too many devices are talking at the same time, in the wrong order, over the wrong channels. Your router doesn't choose who speaks first. The loudest signal wins. That means one misbehaving device can slow everything else down, not by using data, but by interrupting. Every smart TV checking updates, every phone syncing photos, every laptop searching for networks, every smart plug pinging the cloud. None of this looks heavy. Together, it's chaos. And chaos creates delay. Now here's where the stakes rise. Wi-Fi doesn't fail evenly. It degrades selectively. The device farthest from the router suffers first, then the one behind walls, then the one switching between rooms. So the problem feels random. One moment it's fine. Next moment it collapses. That randomness is what makes people give up and buy new routers. But the slowdown isn't random. It follows rules. Rules based on distance, interference, timing, and negotiation. Your Wi-Fi speed drops not because it's weak, but because it's constantly renegotiating connections. Every time a device wakes up, your router pauses everything else to listen. That pause is invisible, but it stacks. Seconds become minutes. Minutes become frustration. And here's the part nobody explains. Your router is not just sending data. It's managing airspace. Wi-Fi travels through walls, furniture, people, and appliances. And every obstacle forces retransmission. Microwaves interfere. Bluetooth overlaps. Neighbor networks compete. Your Wi-Fi doesn't slow down because it's old. It slows down because it's crowded. And most routers ship with settings optimized for convenience, not performance. They assume a small apartment, few devices, minimal interference. That assumption is wrong. Now let's talk about placement. Most routers live in the worst possible location. Corners, closets, behind televisions, under desks. Wi-Fi spreads outward like light. When you trap it, you waste half the signal before it reaches anyone. The router ends up shouting into walls while your devices whisper back. That imbalance creates retries. Retries create delay. Delay feels like slow internet, even when your plan is fast. But placement alone isn't the real lever. The real lever is how your Wi-Fi divides time. Wi-Fi doesn't send everything at once. It sends in turns. Older devices take longer turns. One outdated phone can slow down newer devices by forcing longer negotiation cycles. This is called airtime unfairness. Your router won't tell you it's happening, but you feel it. Especially when someone starts streaming video. Suddenly, everything else struggles. Not because of bandwidth, because of priority. Your Wi-Fi doesn't know what matters most, so it treats everything equally. Equal treatment sounds fair. It's not. Now raise the stakes again. Most people think restarting the router fixes this. It doesn't fix the cause. It resets the conflict. Over time, the same devices reclaim the same airtime. The same interference returns. The slowdown comes back. That's why Wi-Fi fixes feel temporary. Now here's the truth most guides delay. You can speed up home Wi-Fi dramatically without buying anything and without changing your internet plan. But only if you stop thinking in terms of speed and start thinking in terms of efficiency. Efficiency is about reducing waste. Waste comes from overlap, retrees, and unnecessary broadcasts. Your Wi-Fi wastes more time than it uses. And that waste is adjustable. Every router already has the controls needed. They're just buried. Most people never touch channel width. They never separate bands. They never limit background chatter. So the router does what it thinks is best, which is rarely optimal. Let's talk about bands. Your Wi-Fi likely broadcasts on multiple frequencies. One travels farther but slower. The other is faster but weaker. When devices jump between them automatically, they create instability. The router keeps renegotiating. Renegotiation equals delay. Stability equals speed. Separating traffic doesn't cost money. It costs attention. Now consider this. Your Wi-Fi name might be the same for everything. Phones, TVs, laptops, smart devices. That convenience creates congestion. Devices that don't need speed take up valuable airtime. High-priority tasks wait. Waiting feels like lag. Lag feels like slow Wi-Fi. But it's not slow. It's blocked. And blocking compounds. Now add interference from neighbors. Apartment buildings are Wi-Fi battlefields. Every router competes for the same limited channels. If everyone chooses auto, everyone collides. Collisions force retransmission. Retransmission halves effective speed. Your internet didn't change. The environment did. And environments change constantly, which means static settings fail silently. Now let's make this personal. If your Wi-Fi slows down at night, that's not your provider. That's congestion. More devices, more streaming, more interference. Your router fights harder. Efficiency drops. And without guidance, it loses. Here's the consequence. Slow Wi-Fi isn't just annoying. It causes people to upgrade plans they don't need. Buy routers they don't understand. Add extenders that make things worse. Each layer adds complexity. Complexity adds delay. And the root problem stays untouched. Which brings us to the open loop. There is a specific order to fixing home Wi-Fi. Not random tweaks. Not guesswork. An order that stabilizes first, then accelerates. Most people reverse it. And that's why their Wi-Fi never truly improves. I haven't shown you the exact sequence yet. I haven't shown you which setting matters most, or how one small change can instantly reduce congestion. That comes next. Because once you understand how your Wi-Fi negotiates time, you stop chasing speed and start controlling it. And when you do, your Wi-Fi feels faster without costing anything. But only if you know where to look. And most people never look there.